Hello everyone, I'm Carl Aldinger.
And I'm Alexis Marks. Welcome to Wacs News.
This is our first episode of the 2016-17 school year, featuring brand new faces.
Many things have changed since last year, most notably the several parts of the high school and middle school, as part of the ongoing renovations 2014. The main office, cafeteria, locker rooms, and several other rooms in the building were included in the renovations.
Let's hand it over now to Carly Hopsha and Alex Lee for more on the renovations.
If you happen to stop by any of the school buildings this summer, you would have noticed an awful lot of construction, pretty much around every turn.
These various construction projects are a part of the continued work of Renovations 2014, following major roof work before the 2015-16 school year. Additionally, the Alden Community Playground on the intermediate school campus was upgraded during the school year.
This summer, construction crews had their hands full across the district as they worked to update HVAC, electrical, lighting, and phone systems, tear up and replace the primary school main driveway and parking lot, remodel the intermediate and middle school instrumental music suite, remodel the high school cafeteria, and build new secure entrances at both the middle school and high school.
The summer construction brought many changes to the district, some noticeable and some not. So, of course, we have a full recap for you.
Our team coverage of Renovations 2014 begins with an inside look at the new instrumental music space.
The past issue in this band room has been that we have been really crowded in here, so what they did is they actually took down a wall that was there, which was an existing office, and then they gave us this whole space to play for band, which actually gives us a lot of more floor space in the percussion area. You can see that we have seating for the percussion back there now, and all the percussion instruments actually fit here. So it helps us during rehearsal where we do not have to keep on dragging instruments back and forth, and we're actually hoping it will save the longevity of the instrument too. Sure, they love it. I mean, anything new. You know, they came in, they saw the floor, so we have a new floor. We used to have carpeting in here, which with getting instruments and all their saliva sometimes, it was really stinky, and you guys know that as performers. So it was really exciting to have the floor here, which gives us a lot more sound too. Additions that they're going to do to this actually throughout the year, they're still fixing things in here. So they're putting a lot of sound panels and sound diffusers, which will help our sound. Yeah, well, in addition to these lockers were like a godsend for us. They're really awesome. Every student gets their own locker, so they don't have to keep like one of the big problems in the hallways was that everybody would leave their instruments in the hallways, in their lockers, try to jam them in. So now each student has their own individual lockers, and they can put their books in there, and it just really makes life a lot easier when we're dismissing band and when they're coming in too. A couple things you can see, we have a mounted projector, which makes our life a little bit easier. Right above me, there's a screen that drops down, and all our controls are over here on the wall. Those things are just starting to get hooked up. So it's really neat that we're going to be able to use them pretty soon. So it allows us to use like our music software like Smart Music, which is a really big thing we do here in the instrumental program, and the kids, because I use this for a lesson space now too, the students will sit right here, the projector comes down and boom, it's great. And we have built-in speakers, which is a huge asset for the music room. I think they have a lot more space. When they get bigger in 7th and 8th grade, you know, when you're in 4th and 5th, it's okay to be cramped. When they're in 7th and 8th, I think one of the big things was that they would get cramped, and it just, you know, when you're trying to fight to keep them in, that was not something that was helping us. So I think with all these new things we have in here, you know, the lockers, we have new chairs and new stands, and I just think it's really going to help the kids, and they have new things to look forward to.
The new cafeteria remodel and lunch sign reconstruction was a popular topic of conversation at the start of the school year. We caught up with Mr. Ryan to discuss those changes, why they were necessary, and how it's working out.
Well, one of the biggest problems we had was having all of the students lined up in the halls. It was really from a supervision standpoint, very difficult to manage that, as well as students in the cafeteria. So the new lines have really improved that drastically. Well, the setup is totally reworked, where the students will come into the cafeteria and then go directly into the serving lines. The previous doors have been sealed off, and The whole cafeteria serving line has been reworked. It is definitely much better. It is much better than it has been. It's much more efficient, and I think it's been very well received by our students. What I've noticed from when I'm in there, the lines seem to move much quicker than they have in the past, thus giving kids longer time to eat their lunches.
Of course, students have contrasting opinions of the new layout. We asked Alden High School what they thought.
I like that the new cafeteria has a variety of new foods because I like food.
I like the new cafeteria because of the new snack lines that they have. They're much more organized than the last year's.
I don't like the new cafeteria.
Yeah.
I don't like the new cafeteria because there's not enough tables in it.
Another improvement was remodeling the deteriorating locker rooms at the high school. The boys and girls locker rooms both received a facelift.
I think the issues in the locker room really were twofold. One was a safety concern, especially in the boys' locker room. What I learned through the process were the lockers are really of two vintages. The girls' lockers and the boys' lockers were purchased in different years and thus were of significantly different quality. The girls' lockers were of a much thicker, heavier gauge of metal, and the boys' lockers were not. So the boys' lockers really seemed to wear more, and there were some exposed edges and some doors that wouldn't shut anymore. In addition to that, our phys ed faculty room or phys ed offices for our staff really weren't conducive to monitoring and supervising the locker room as much as they could be. That's why we've added an additional window. I think the other piece is that it was an incredible facelift for the lockers. I don't know what the student feedback is at this point, but I walk in there right now, and although there's still some work to be done in the locker room, you notice a remarkable difference just in the appearance. There are issues. There's actually here, I have a punch list of things that we're going through. As you can imagine, in phase 1 and phase 2, there's an incredible amount of work that was done, and thus that leads to an incredible amount of checks and balances. So the construction company has been incredibly supportive of us. We're going through on a weekly basis and working off of this punch list. We do plan in November to meet with the community-based committee that identified the scope of this work to kind of have an open house and show them what their efforts have yielded. At that point, we will take a look at our 5-year building condition survey, and my hope is to have the same group get together and identify a list of work that needs to be done in a future project. I don't have a timeline for that. I know that some things that didn't make the list, and we did a lot of work into the locker rooms, as you had mentioned. The major part that did not make the list were the shower and the bathrooms in the locker, and the community-based committee really wanted to try to include that because from our student athletes to our students in phys ed to our recreation department to our community, people utilize that area, and it too needs a significant facelift. So that could be something on the horizon that the community-based committee takes a look at investing in.
The major factor of the summer renovations was the secure entrance project at both the high school and middle school. Alex walked through the new process, and we caught up with administrators to discuss the new protocols.
I believe the improved entrances here at the high school and the middle school have really focused our efforts on the safety of the students and the staff. As you can recall from years prior, people would have access to the building, they'd be buzzed in, and we would ask them to report to the office. However, whether they did report to the office or not was kind of left to chance. Now, prior to them even being buzzed into the building, Mrs. Renaud or Mrs. Lorenzi here at the high school are asked to have parents or visitors produce some sort of government-issued ID, such as a New York State driver's license. We're not there yet, but we do have ordered right now a scanning system that'll scan that driver's license or government-issued ID to kind of do a real quick background check. And in the event that something comes up and is flagged, those people will not be permitted to the building.
We're telling the community and parents that if they are just coming into our office, they don't need an ID, but as long as they come into our school, they will need that ID to get a visitor's pass. Safety, that's the biggest piece. It's made the school a lot safer. Schools were safe before, but this took it to the next level and just kind of made the school a little bit more safe for the students, because now we don't have visitors or community members coming into the school and then going to the office. They actually have to go through the office now, and having them have an ID took it to the next level because if they're providing an ID, we know they're here for a reason and not to harm our students. So our hope is by having them have an ID, we'll know who is in our building at all times. If something happens, we have their ID on file so we know who that person is and we can get a hold of them.
Late arrival students and parents or guardians will enter the secure entrance. Parents or guardians are required to show their photo identification here at this window. That lets them go into the second set of doors. Parents or guardians just dropping stuff off for their children aren't required photo identification. They will just drop whatever they are dropping off here. Staff members can still key into the building through here, and students can use the airphone to talk to whoever's in the office from here. Student. Of course, for the latest updates on Renovations 2014, be sure to check out our website, wacs.aldenschools.org, and follow us through the social networks by searching WACS News on Facebook and Twitter.
For the latest in Alden news and homecoming, we now go back to Carl and Alexis in the studio.
As you can see, Alden has had some major changes throughout the summer. The high school also had the exciting opportunity to welcome NFL Hall of Fame member Jim Kelly this past month. Jim Kelly had not only taken the time to speak to the high school, but he gave away a few signed footballs as well. Let's take a look at a few highlights of the assembly.
One more try for a girl. She talked my dad into it again. They gave her one more shot. They had twin boys. To make it 6. Can you catch? We'll find out, right? I'll tell you what pulled me through. I changed my life. And I knew that I wanted a wife that loved her husband. I wanted daughters that were going to love their daddy. I wanted a son that I know that I will see again. When people tell me that I've been an inspiration to them, I want them to know that that inspires me to keep fighting, to never give up. Make a difference today for someone who is fighting for their tomorrow.
To watch the entire assembly, find Wacs News on YouTube by searching WACS Network. But now let's move on to the focus of the high school this week. Alden has been excitedly preparing for homecoming.
Homecoming has always been Alden's largest school spirit event each year. The school comes together as one for the homecoming parade, pep rally, powder puff game, varsity football game, and the exciting homecoming dance. Students and staff all work together to make this happen.
Homecoming week kicked off with the first spirit week of the school year.
The spirit days include Flannel Day, Disney Day, Twin Day, Dress Like Your Float Day, and the traditional Blue and Gold Day. To see pictures from Spirit Week, you can visit our Facebook page.
The theme for the class floats and hallways was chosen to be decades. The 4 decades chosen were the 70s, 40s, 20s, and the 50s. Some of our reporters talked to class members and advisors about their preparations.
From a class advisor's perspective, how do you think our hallway is going to do this year?
I think it's going to go great. Everyone's working together, and this year we actually have a lot of people here, which is awesome. It's not like we're scrambling. A lot of work was done ahead of time.
How do you feel this hallway compares to last year's hallways?
Well, I think that right now, we're still in the beginning. I can't see full picture yet, so it's hard to tell. Last year, I really liked the clay paper mache stuff they made. So we'll see, but the most important thing is everybody's having fun.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Twist and shout. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on and work it on out. Work it on out. Work it on out. You know you look so good. You know you got me going now. Got me going just like I knew you would. Like I knew you would. Shaking on our way. You know you twist so fine. Twist so fine. Come on and twist a little closer now. Twist a little closer. Let me know that you're mine. You're mine. Ooh. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Twist and shout. Come on, come on, come on, come on, baby. Now. Come on, baby. Come on and work it out. Work it out now. Well, twist it, girl. You know you twist so fine. Twist so fine. Come on and twist a little closer now. Twist a little closer.
The students are, of course, looking forward to the homecoming dance this year. The dance will be held on Saturday, October 1st from 7 to 10 p.m.
We asked students how they felt about a new state law stating that all school dances must be casual dressed. Don't worry, the law isn't real, but the students we asked didn't know that. Take a look at their reaction.
With homecoming right around the corner, we're asking students of Alden High School how they feel about the new Dance Standardization Act stating that all public school dances have to be of casual dress. This question is not a real thing.
I think it's whack. I think I should wear my own clothes, like this. Okay.
I like getting dappered up.
So how does that make you feel?
Angry.
I think that that is confusing. I don't understand why that has to be like that.
Would you like to answer a question, please? How do you feel about the new Dance Standardization Act stating that all public school dances have to be of casual dress from now on?
I didn't even hear about that till now.
How does it make you feel?
It doesn't really bother me that much.
Thank you. To be of casual dress.
I think it's about time.
I love it. I don't go to the dances.
Would anyone else like to answer a question?
When did this legislation come about?
September 2016.
That is the stupidest thing.
I think it's a good choice.
Especially for the chaperones get to do it too.
Yeah.
Even better.
Okay, thanks.
I think it's fantastic. I don't know what that is.
Like, homecoming has to be casual, not formal.
That sucks.
I disapprove.
You disapprove? Why?
Repeat the question.
Powder Puff was also highly anticipated this week, the head coaches being Mr. Eggink of the freshman and senior team and Mr. Krizik of the sophomores and juniors. Prior to the game, Wacs News exclusively received a guarantee from Mr. Eggink that the seniors and freshmen would achieve victory.
The school is excited about their homecoming football game, and the team will get a chance to show off their brand new lights on the field and jerseys once again, while the old jerseys were handed down to the JV team. The Bulldogs face against the Canisius Crusaders tonight at the homecoming game.
It's Friday, which means it's game day. At 5 p.m., cars will start rolling into the teacher and senior parking lot for the first ever homecoming tailgate party sponsored by us at Wacs News. The tailgate is from 5 p.m. until 7 p.m. as Channel 7 broadcasts live from our campus for Friday Night Frenzy. The competition in terms of school spirit has been fierce since Channel 7 announced the challenge on the news this week. Here's a look at that now.
It's time for the Friday Football Frenzy Game of the Week reveal, and with me a couple of guests. And guys, focus. We need to talk about who the Game of the Week is.
How's my flow? We still good here? I feel like I smell like a locker room right about now.
You might a little bit.
Yes, the show has officially gone to the dogs.
Oh, boy.
Alden, we are heading your way. Alden Canisius, our 7ABC Game of the Week. Blue Crew, I am challenging you to get out there. Let's have some fun Friday night. All you Bulldog fans, I'm challenging you as well. Get out there. Let's have some fun. We will be live from Alden High School from 5 to 6:30 in sports. We will have a live interview with head coach Rob Curran as well. we will be there. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. We'll have all the highlights on 7ABC on the Friday Football Frenzy at 11. Joe, guys, Ashley, back to you.
In response to the challenge, the Alden Bulldog Nation has been responding in full force. School spirit is strong today, and we are hoping for an excellent turnout at the tailgate party. Make sure you use our Snapchat filter all day and post using the hashtag Alden Bulldog Nation. Go Bulldogs! With that, let's move into sports. The varsity golf team's record now stands at 8-1, with perhaps their biggest win coming with their defeat of the undefeated Starpoint team early in the season.
To continue Alden's winning streak, the boys varsity soccer team performed extremely well at their annual tournament in Holly, and their first divisional match against Eden as well. They also earned an impressive shutout against Springville.
And the girls varsity swim team also had 2 consecutive wins, one of them a proud win at their first home meet of the season last week.
This has been a very exciting month at Alden schools. From the major renovations to homecoming, we'd like to thank the students, faculty, staff, and the community members for the participation and support for our school.
And with that, we'll wrap up this first Wacs News episode of the year. Once again, I'm Carl Aldinger.
And I'm Alexis Marks. To stay updated with Wacs News, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. We also have our own site to stay tuned for more updates. So thank you for watching Wacs News.